Good morning, everyone. Anyway, the subclass. The subclass is based upon the infusion of the flakka, because the infusion of the flakka has been undecisive to an area of the nodes, because in that way the nodes of the form will be positioning itself into its compliance by its own maturity and oversees the inflection of the dipolate. The dipolate is a separator based upon the infusion of the core, because the infusion of the core is based upon the infusion of the rejoice of the material and also to conflict the default system. Once it shares that, the working material will be infusing itself into its own compliance, because each compliance is the shade of the sun. There's a cloud up there, that's what you call it. So from the shade of the sun, the transmission of the provision for your lawyer is an instrument based upon your infusion. And any infusion that you have to recorrection the pixel. Once you do that, you will compromise its own area. Because once you compromise its own area, you will be flacking yourself into a dorky pop. The dorky pop is by the email subdivision to subscribe, to eWay by the gate. Because in eWay by the gate, to use a credit card on eBay or on your own website, you have to have policy in relation to your own way. Once you have the policy, you will compromise the intuition of the bars, and each bars that you have, you will compromise the DP345 and the DP351 pixelated into 241118 movie tester 3321 and 2224, and in that way you will compromise the compression. So when you compromise the compression, you will need to know the amphetamine to rejoice the material and to enjoy the wiki. To share into the material and enjoy the wiki, you will actually you will actually vary the position of a timer to conclude the element of fundings, and also to and from the infusion of a porcupine. And in that way, the infusion of a porcupine, you will compromise the enemy to divide that into the correction of the pixelated MP4. And in that way, a good old friend of mine, Cruz at PHPBB, MP4 is a conversion of your layer. And any conversion of your layer, you will compromise the zip texter by sharing into Wall Street and to execute into Tulu. So when you execute into Tulu, you are anonymity into the EG and IQ in relation to your ally, and to position yourself into the animation by the non-provision layer. And in that way, you are compromising the flux by the that's how it works. So in time, by the movie tester, you can also compromise the 9th dimension. The 9th dimension is really hard. I'm not going to get them for years and years and years. But the 9th dimension, we are waving into the DPG and the AMPDPG and the P4N3DPG and the 3168DPG M345 hexagon 2281 and 2284 hexagon 1218 compromising the sun alley to texture the Porky 2241 and Porky 2224 pixelated third dimension by Wiki and to compromise the ordering system of a uncle. Sounds like uncle, doesn't it? But it's called uncle. So in that way, with the uncle, we are compressing the provision to law. And when we have the provision to law, we will be IQing itself into the flux of the solenoid and to actually be mounting into the third Isata in relation to mounts and to compromise the enemy by deleting a certain amount of non-error but visual impairment and visual flu. The visual impairment and visual flu is based upon the rejoice of our work to compromise what I've said previously when I was watching the movie, that we are marketing into a rough figure of that's how you cut the paper, Cruz. So when you do that, we are compromising the decompression. So when we are compromising the decompression, we are elaying into the third revision mirror to subflow the flux by solenoid and to prime the proxy. When we prime the proxy, we are compromising the way it cuts in relation to the scissors and breadcrumb by sharing into the flucker of the third party to income the intuition of the movie maker to test the paper cut and to ocholu. That's what you call orgasm. Organism, sorry. Sorry. That's what you call organism. So in that way, with the organism, the 2251 is eyedropper in this way. So when we have the eyedropper in relation to Photoshop as CS4 and CS3.6 and CS2, the old version of Photoshop is we executing into the next artistic direction in relation to a subclass for classes of the Java and to implement the Mu tools and to rotate into a voice over IP and to compromise the D-turn by compressing into that weave. That weave is based upon the wiki by this one. And we are weaving into the Mathola. Who's that? Oh, don't know. Viking. So in that way, we are thundering the rejoice of our work and to condition our mythology and to decompress the paper cut by what's the thing that the art thing, you know? Oh, I don't remember. I lost the word. Oh, you know, when you fold papers and make art. I'll be back in a minute. I used to make this when I was young. You can ask my mum. My mum knows. Hope she remembers. Of course she remembers. You can, this flies. It does. Like, I don't want to ruin this. Oops. You can make this and you just go like that and it flies. But anyway, in that, oh sorry. But anyway, in that way, once we compromise the condition of our organic organism, we can also have the 55538 and 55551, which is a gem in relation to the Punni. She is the key factor in the jewelry because she makes the mineral somewhere in the rock. She does. She is the fifth revision of the article in relation to the third galaxy. She's around somewhere. No, I think she's at the temple. No. Oh, you know, the one that she doesn't look like. Oh, I don't know which one. But anyway, once we are ordering the system of a form, we can also compromise this one to share into the gravity. So when you make one of these, you can play with it and try to test the gravity so that we can also be measured in relation to the next prefix. The next prefix is the anna in relation to the dog and also to interrule our ink system to realize the form. So in that way, once we equal the position of the paper cut, we can also share our chef in relation to iron and to compromise the two nails that kind of, you know, bend over, or I don't know what you call it. But once we do that, we are sharing into the rejoice of our material to actually share into the third party by the gem and to ink the third revision of the article. So once we share the third revision of the article, we will compromise the condition of pathology and also can share our life in relation to the Barbie dolls and to compromise the method of our psychology and also to ink the system of a form. So once we share that, we are compromising our condition of pathology and to equalize the enemy. So when we equalize the enemy, we will also be sharing into the rejoice of our material and also the confunction of our life. And based upon the confunction of our life, we also have the consharement of life based upon our movie tester to ink the system by pixelating into the speed capacity and to cream the dinner. Sounds like dinner, doesn't it? So in that way, once we share the ordering system, we can also be positioning ourselves into our compliance of the network, because based upon that, we are equaling the enemy by the third grade. So in relation to the enemy by the third grade, we can compromise the issue of the matter. See, look at that. Does that look like the ninth dimension? But it's not, is it? No. Does it look like it? No. It's just, I don't know what you call it, but it's not. But it's just in time. Once we know the area of the complementation, we will also be rejoicing into our compression. And any compression that we know of, we can equalize the enemy to actually be to and from the rejoice of our material and to sync the system in relay by deploying the aisle and to compromise our marketing degree. When we do that, we are sharing into our third party and to also equalize the condition of our mythology. And our mythology is based upon the equilibrium of the third party orchestra and to ink the sound card in relation to oh, nearly got it from my old friend Crucial. Not that one, nearly got it. But anyway, in time, once we order the system of the aisle, we can compromise the issue of matter for the provision to claim our law and to intuition our power of democracy. And once we have that, we will compromise the decompression in relation to the Allah. By to and from, the wisdom of our Na is the Palaku in relation to the shade of the sun. The shade of the sun is the Pokulu in relation to our claim, and also to and from the rejoice of our material. Sire, may I be knighted, Queen Elizabeth. The Mathakasul is a Pakasul in relation to the third revision. When we have the third revision based upon the rejoice of our material, we will condor the airship in relation to the prome. And in relation to the prome, we will be chemistrily understand the EPC. The EPC is this method in relation to the shadows. And in relation to the shadows, we can also reposition ourselves into our compliance of our maturity. And in that way, we are seeking the non-political policy to compromise the Tatulu in relation to Galicia for my second husband on Facebook. And in that way, we are compromising our psychology for the cultural. So, I can't, oh yeah, I can't get the angle, but anyway, you know which one. But anyway, in that way, we are widening the shadows of the sun. So, see, when we are widening the shadows of the sun, we will be inking in a certain amount of POS to implement our production and to service our fee. If we can compromise our issue of a matter, we can rejoice our material by the web chat and to ikakuhu in relation to 3D vision. The 3D vision has stated that we are not looking real. Are we real? Am I real? I look real. Okay, here's an example. He's real. He's real. This is real. This is real. That TV is real. But the third dimension and the ninth dimension is really hard to get. But that was a quick example of how real the third dimension will be. So in that way, we are compromising the decode system of encryption and the work of the modulist to equalize these beautiful lights from where? Heaven or outer space. So in return, we are compromising our goddess of compare. Goddess of compare. I don't know that one as yet. But later on, I'll find out where she is. So in that way, once we have the sector of a 238 and 241, we are inking into the system of a Pokosul. Once we share the Pokosul, we are compromising our condition of method and to the equation of form. Once we do that, we are predicting the shades of the sound. Not sound, shades of the sound. The shades of the sound is based upon, what did I say? Sound. Oh, don't remember the first word. Is to inking the third party by Galicia on Facebook for my second husband. So once we share that, the third revision is how we claim our Loy. Loy? Is that my name, Alan Loy?